Good morning, Illini. I'm Erica Finke.
And I'm Jared Farmer.
You ready for this show for today?
Yeah, ready as I'll ever be, Erica.
Did you have a great Valentine's Day?
Well, I'd rather not talk about it. It was a little bit lonely.
Well, we'll be talking about a lot of Valentine's Day things this episode, so get ready for it.
Of course. And
good morning, Illini. On today's show, will your love last forever? We take a look at the internal flame on campus that might help seal the deal.
And we look into this weekend's weather forecast.
Later, we give a recap on everything on paper that is going on with Illini sports.
So let's get this started.
We're starting off today's show with GMI on campus, where we'll take a look at top stories happening across Chambana.
For our first story, we take a trip just outside of campus to downtown Urbana as they host Market in the Square.
They host several local vendors every Saturday to celebrate all things local. One vendor in particular has ties to the University of Illinois. Nitro Cup was started in 2016 by U of I grads Will Newton and Grant Garland. They experimented with cold brew and nitrogen until they discovered their ideal cup of coffee.
And get this, Erica, they went around selling their coffee on their tricycles.
No way.
Tricycles.
You'd think that they would spill at least. I mean, I can't even ride a bike, but to think that you're selling coffee on a tricycle? Well, you gotta be kidding me.
I mean, you saw right there, it didn't look like it was something you'd fall over, but it's just a little bit odd, I guess.
I guess it is, but very unique. Do you drink coffee yourself?
Not really. You know, I used to, but then, you know, I would start to crash, so.
Well, we're not going to crash today, right?
Absolutely not. Making our way back to campus, a true hero made an appearance at the Krannert Center for the Arts on Wednesday.
Martha Cohn, a 98-year-old Holocaust survivor and former spy, spoke about her experiences working as French intelligence.
Event participants emphasized the significance of events like these. Cohn had posed as a nurse and crossed enemy lines to pass on information about the Nazis to the French. Over 2,000 people were in attendance at this event, and it was so many people, Erica, that not everybody was actually able to get a seat in. And I honestly think that that is truly amazing because she had a story that is really inspiring, and I think something that a lot of people should hear.
I agree. Definitely that attendance. She deserved that attendance, especially for her service working as French intelligence. So I definitely agree.
She was going on Krannert. She's been touring around for this story to promote and sign her book and Behind Enemy Lines, and I can definitely say that I will be one of those customers buying that book because that definitely seems like an amazing story.
I agree. Another hero in other people's eyes has made headlines, but for a different reason. After coming off a win against Rutgers and setting a new freshman scoring record.
Illinois basketball player Georgi Bashanishvili is still a student and needed to go to class.
Our friends from the Champagne Room took a picture of the big man getting a ride in the back of a pickup truck that went viral around central Illinois. That's just so crazy.
Just
look at him.
Dude.
He's just like swaddled back there. I mean,
a candid photo just chilling in his hoodie. That's a funny picture.
Oh, for sure.
Always good to see them around campus doing funny things. But in other campus news, the Illini Union held a Music for the Masses open mic night. Music for the Masses is an on-campus RSO that hosts open mic nights every other week, and 5 courageous students had took to the stage under the Illini Union to perform their selected songs. Erica, would you ever do an open mic night?
Oh, you bet I would. And you know it's Valentine's Day week. The Illini Union spiced up the mood holding a couples skate night earlier this week. How cute. It was an evening of free skating as skates were provided there. They played a variety of music, and they also gave out a variety of sweet treats and desserts for the event.
Yeah, and it definitely looks like it's so much fun. The Illini Union Room, one of our anchors, Taylor Howard, was there at the event, and she was telling us how this was something that people from all age ranges were attending. You know, it was diverse, it was a lot of fun, and
That's
I
great.
honestly hope that the union has more events like these going forward.
I agree, I really hope so.
Now, if you have any U of I on campus ideas, don't be afraid to just shoot us an email at goodmorningillini@illinois.edu.
Looking for more stuff to do on campus? Don't you fear. Tag along with Maddie Rice and Sammy St. Ledger.
They take us to get a short lesson on swing dancing if you are still trying to impress your Valentine.
Good morning, Illini. I'm Sammy St. Ledger.
And I'm Maddie Rice.
Today we're tackling swing dancing.
Come tag along.
We didn't know we got ourselves into. What? Oh, so sweethearts. Twist you up and up, pull in. Okay, I think.
Questions? Do you mind doing the move again? You're going to want to keep this hand and it comes back over.
Over? So wait, what is it?
So when I pull in,
Yeah.
you're going to
So
want
have
to
this
spin,
come up?
and over.
Oh, so then you can do that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Because the other move,
We need like another week.
We gotta really step up our game. My knee hurts so bad.
Found Ori.
That was cute. Oh, thanks. Thanks, everyone. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Thanks. I didn't know everyone was looking.
Well, we're gonna swing back to the studio.
Thanks for tagging along on swing dancing, and as always,
Good morning, Illini.
well, I love to sing. I was taught to sing in high school. I was in choir, but dancing is a no-go for me.
Yeah, no, I dance with 2 left feet. So.
Oh, me too. I have 2 left feet, and they do not coordinate very well. Definitely never catching me on that dance floor ever, unless you see me doing my signature dance moves. My dad dance moves. It's really, really great. So, Jared, did you know that there's a hidden myth on campus?
Really?
Yeah.
I did not, but luckily GMI's Chris Joe got the opportunity to speak with someone from the university archives to tell this mysterious tale.
I think the first piece of lore about it is the name that you use of Eternal Flame. That is something which is a very recent creation, and maybe as recent as 2000. The feature of the campus that you're talking about is I'm not sure really what the proper name is for it. There's at least 3 names we could call it. It's best to say it is the 1912 class memorial. So the class of 1912 decided they wanted to put up a memorial that was going to be of some functional value. And what they came to the conclusion was that a good symbol in classical architecture in ancient Greece and Rome was a column. That seemed to be their first thing, and then they decided that there ought to be an electric light in the top. And the electric light would then illuminate that section of the quad. The auditorium would be lit by it, and Lincoln Hall, which was then new, would be lit by it. And as they did their planning, they then decided to have the bench around it as a seating area to kind of finish off the whole installation. I found the contents of the Daily Illini are digitized, but only up until 1975. And there's no references in the Daily Illini to Eternal Flame that relate to this item. So, but it's kind of like a myth, and made up, and probably by campus. I'm guessing, I'm making up maybe my own myth here, but campus tours. But those are the kinds of things that are inserted into campus narratives, I think, just to make the story about something that's familiar or a little bit more exotic.
So our very own director, Ken Erdy, proposed to his wife 24 years ago on Valentine's Day at the Eternal Flame.
Yeah, that is, we were talking about before the show whether or not we believed in the superstitions of it being true, and while I'm not a superstitious person, that has me feeling a little bit stitious. Just a little bit.
Just a little stitious. I personally, I'm very superstitious. I believe in ghosts. Do with that what you will. I believe in them. They're real. Try not to spook me.
Erica is not a fun person to be around during Halloween.
Honestly, no, because I'll watch a scary movie and I will curl up with a pillow and I will squeal as I'm watching the movie. But I believe in love at first sight, and I think that's the sweetest thing ever. Ken, you hopeless romantic.
All right, well, at this point in the show, we will swing it over to our UI7 News correspondent, Ori Benatar, to get a latest on UI7 News. Ori?
Thanks, Jared. Yeah, congrats to Ken on that awesome proposal, and I'm not very superstitious or stitious either. Hope everyone had a lovely Valentine's Day as we begin our UI7 News update with Unofficial. Unofficial St. Patrick's Day is right around the corner, and for the cities of Champaign and Urbana, changes are coming. This past weekend, the mayors of both Champaign and Urbana announced respective regulations for all establishments planning to serve alcohol on March 1st, the day of Unofficial. Some of the regulations include restrictions on how early the bars can open, what kind of cups they can serve from, as well as limitations on what types of alcohol they can serve. The policies were imposed under the mayor's emergency powers and will be in effect for the whole day to start March. While the unofficial holiday is still expected to be celebrated by many, it is yet to be seen how these regulations will affect the bars on what is typically one of the busiest weekends of the year. On the streets of campus, Suburban Express, the popular transportation company known for bringing students to and from Chicago suburbs, has fallen under more scrutiny. Customer Bridget Jasinski said owner Dennis Topin's course of action for a late bus was chilling, as she was refused entrance to the next arriving bus, and her phone was placed underneath a bush after it was confiscated by Topin. She was offered a generic apology with coupons to settle the issue.
Right away, and had consequently abandoned me and didn't provide me a service that I had paid for.
Jasinski has filed 2 incident reports to the current Illinois Attorney General. However, Suburban, who also runs Illini Shuttle, is already facing a lawsuit filed in April of last year. The Attorney General's spokesman says the next hearing was scheduled 3 days ago. More construction is being done on the western edge of Campus Town as construction crews recently began the demolition of the strip mall located at 24 East Green Street. The location has been fenced off as construction crews aim to pave way for a $30 million 6-story apartment complex. The strip mall was home to tenants like Defy Gravity, Twin City Bible Church, and the Champaign-Urbana Health District. These businesses have been forced to relocate after a Chicago-based real estate firm called CF Capital purchased the property in December for $4 million. The new 153-unit apartment complex will be across the street from West Quad Apartments and west of the Square Lake Drainage Basin. We move now to Krannert Center, where it was mentioned earlier, thousands gathered to hear 98-year-old war hero Marta Cohen speak on Wednesday. Cohen was a French spy who became a spy behind Nazi lines, a French Jew, I should say, during World War II, posing as a German nurse. The event was sponsored by Illini Chabad and the Office of the Chancellor and featured a book signing for her 2002 autobiography, Behind Enemy Lines. As she travels the country sharing her incredible story, she has one takeaway for her audiences.
One person can make a difference, but you have to work on it.
I was at the event as well, and as a member of the Jewish community here, very amazing to see thousands of people gather at the Krannert Center to see this amazing story from Marta Cohen. And for more stories around the Champaign-Urbana community, including a story like Marta Cohen's and more, make sure you tune into UI7 News every Thursday at 5 p.m. for more UI7 action. But thanks for joining me today for your campus news on GMI. But for now, we're going to take it to Patrick Catazone. First time for weather, man. How you doing? It's cold.
Well, thanks, Patrick, and sorry we were facing some technical difficulties right there, but up next we will take a look at Small Cakes cupcakery that is on campus.
And we'll tell you all you need to know about what is going on with Illinois athletics.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Yep. Oh my goodness.
And it comes to us under no ordinary circumstances. We are not here to reproduce in this new locality some old and well-known style of college or university. The hungry eyes of toiling millions are turned with mingled hope and fear upon us to see what new and better solution we can possibly offer of the great problems on which their well-being and destiny depend. It's a long way down from all the cheers used to hear. Better take another trip before the fans forget your name. It's a waste of space to erase the signs. Now I see you started up a fire and left the bridges burning high. No exception to the rule. Just a fool, but no one's forever.
Welcome back to GMI ILL. Tell you what's cooking as we have a guest with us on the show today. What's your name? Where are you from?
I'm Jody Thomas. I'm the owner of Small Cakes Cupcakery and Creamery from Springfield.
Oh my goodness. Well, this is what we kind of have here for this is what you have for us today. So delicious. Oh my goodness. So many wonderful looking flavors. Did you guys have a busy day yesterday?
Yes, it was a long day at both stores. We sold close to 1,300 cupcakes in Champaign yesterday.
Oh my goodness.
Well, we see some of the flavors here, but what kind of other treats can somebody get at Small Cakes?
We also have ice cream, which is made in-house, which I brought today is the cookies and cream, and then our red velvet ice cream, which gets layered with red velvet when it comes out of the batch freezer.
This is really dangerous this early in the morning, I have to tell you. So what's your personal favorite flavor?
Personal favorite. Ice cream is red velvet. And we sold out of it yesterday, but my favorite cupcake is the Texas sheet cake. It's a blend, tastes similar to a brownie, but it's
Oh my goodness.
a really good cupcake.
So did you bring that for us today?
What I brought for you today is hot fudge sundae, chocoholic, which is 3 different types of chocolate. Chocolate cream, which has a vanilla cream filling. It looks similar to a Hostess cake. And then birthday cake, which is a vanilla cake, vanilla buttercream, and then it's obviously dipped in the sprinkles. And then we also have a daily cupcake, which similar to the birthday cake, which is our Illini cupcake.
Yeah, the orange and blue, I noticed that. And
Orange
what about what we've got here? What's going on here?
This was the Valentine's Love Myself 4-pack that we had.
Love myself. I should have gotten this.
For that sad day that you had yesterday.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry,
Right.
Jared. So thank you so much for joining us today. I'm glad you guys had such a successful day yesterday. Valentine's Day and all.
We're just really excited to be part of Champaign and near the campus. And we've rolled out cake pops as well, which have been hugely popular. And also for pet friendly, we have what's called pup cakes also.
Pup cakes. Could you tell me a little bit more about that?
It is a mini cupcake. It's made out of carrot cake with peanut butter, cream cheese, and a milk bone topped on it.
So like that's just, is that for just like dogs?
That's the
and,
dogs,
like,
yeah.
Dogs, cats?
Just dogs.
Just dogs.
Yeah.
All
Oh
right.
my gosh. When I saw it on the screen, I figured it was for people. And so I was like, that's a delicious looking cupcake.
No, trust me, it's more for the dogs.
Have you tried it? Silly question, maybe.
No,
but
one staff member has by mistake. It didn't quite have the taste of the other cupcakes, but dogs do love it. We've had several people take videos of their dogs. They do love the pup cakes.
That's fun. Well, does Small Cakes have any type of like special events that people around campus can attend?
We're working on a Small Cakes app so that students can check in at Small Cakes. And then we also have a punch card, so after you get 1 punch for each visit, and after 12 visits you get a free cupcake.
oh, that's a good deal.
Yeah, sounds like it.
I'll definitely have to be checking that out.
Yeah, and they can find us also Small Cakes Champaign on Facebook, and the same thing, Small Cakes Champaign on Instagram.
Yeah, it looks like I'm
Definitely
about to...
be giving them a follow.
Yeah. Could you... Yeah, where could we...
We are located 2005 South Neal Street, right in front of Harvest Market.
Oh, wow. Okay. Very close to campus
Very
then.
close, yes.
Conveniently and dangerously close, of course.
Yeah, dangerously close. But that's for somebody that needs that sugar fix for those late night study binges.
So what are your hours typically?
11 to 9. And then that's Monday through Saturday, and then we're 11 to 5 on Sunday. So we're open 7 days a week.
All right, so, I mean, it seems like you could just get a cupcake basically whenever you have the free time.
Yes, and the Small Cakes motto is maybe a cupcake will help.
For sure, for sure. Well, thank you so much for bringing these wonderful treats in for us today and sharing with us these sweet treats.
Oh, thanks. Glad to be here. Yeah. Glad to be a part of Champaign.
And it's great to have you. All right, well, transitioning from small items, I hear some big men on the hardwood took some awards home this week.
For more on this, Tommy, our own very Tommy Polson, is going to be chatting some sports with us. Tommy?
Thanks, guys. You are right. We did have some action out on the hardwood this week, and it's been quite the successful week for the Illini. They have now had 4 straight Big Ten wins, and they've won 5 out of their last 6 games. Are they maybe the hottest team in the Big Ten? I'm not to say, but they have been playing really well, and they actually have the Big Ten Freshman of the Week this past week in Ayo Dosunmu. He averaged 18 points, 4 assists, close to 4 rebounds per game. He was a 5-star point guard, and he's from Morgan Park. He's seen as a potential first-round draft pick, hopefully not this year, maybe next year, who knows, but he's a very talented player, and he's been having an amazing season. Also, we have Georgi Bashanishvili, who was the Big Ten Player of the Week, even though he's also a freshman. He averaged 25.5 points a game, as well as 6 boards, and he erupted for the Illinois freshman record with 35 points, passing Deion Thomas. He had 34 points back in 1990 and was actually at the game, and Georgie got a picture with him. Georgie is a freshman from Georgia, the country, and he was actually also seen riding around in the back of a pickup truck before leaving for Ohio State, as mentioned earlier in the show. Speaking of Ohio State, the Illini left Columbus with a big win, snapping the Buckeyes' 3-game winning streak. Io, Georgie, and Trent Frazier combined for 43 points and 14 rebounds, and it was their first win at Ohio State since February of 2009. It is also the Illini's first true road win of the season. They're now 8th in the Big Ten standings at 6-8, and they've won 5 out of their last 6 games. The Big Ten tournament is just 1 month away, and it will be played in Chicago at the United Center, and the win was 63-56. But basketball is not the only sport making a buzz on campus, as the Illinois men's baseball team is kicking their season off this weekend. They are ranked top 30 to start the year, and they are picked 3rd in the Big Ten by the coaches' preseason polls. Opening day has arrived today as the Illini play at 11 at Georgetown on the road. On the weekend, they will also be playing number 20 Wake Forest on Saturday and Sacred Heart on Sunday as they travel along the East Coast. They are also picked by the NCAA as a sleeper in the College World Series in Omaha. And finally, Illinois men's and women's tennis are quickly climbing up in the rankings. The men's team is off to a win, or they're coming off a win against number 7 UCLA, and they play number 6 Texas tonight. They also had a win against number 11 Notre Dame last week, and they are on a really hot streak to start the season. The women's tennis team is currently ranked number 19, and they play Baylor on Sunday at Atkins. Let's wrap this up with a deeper look into the women's gymnastics team as we look at the sights and sounds of their last home meet.
Fans are piling in.
Yeah, I mean, women's gymnastics, that looks amazing. I haven't been out to too many of their meets, but I mean, Ken kills on those sights and sounds. You'd love to see those always, and they look amazing. So that is it for this week's edition of On Paper. I'm Thomas Polson. Back to you, Erica and Jared.
Thanks.
So before we wrap up today's show, let's check in with Patrick outside as he has the inside, outside scoop for today's weekend's forecast. Patrick?
Studio. We're outside today. If you take a look behind me, we're facing a little bit of overcast today, but right behind the Siebel Center here. And weather's not going to be too great this weekend, but let's start off with today. 16 right now, should get up to 22, and for the weekend, 35 the high on Saturday, the low 23, the high on Sunday, 30 on 24. So it is going to be. Make sure if you go out this weekend that you bundle up. You don't want to be getting the frostbite this week, but yeah, so make sure you stay warm, Alana. I think let's kick it back to the studio with Jared and Erica.
Patrick, and that does it for our
I forgot
show
to
this
do
week.
the thing.
Definitely stay with us 24/7 on our social media accounts.
Yeah, be sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram, and subscribe to us on YouTube. We also update our social media with web-exclusive content, so be sure to check in with us throughout the week. And now we've got a word from our producer this week.
And that's it for our show today. Good morning, Illini.
Good morning, Illini.